Hey, thanks for joining me today. It's Karen Wright, your local Wichita real estate agent, and I'm here to go over the April 2023 Wichita market updates of the housing statistics and what we've been seeing. So I'm a little late in getting this out due to vacation. Had a few listings, got several buyers under contract, so that's a good thing. Of course, took a couple offers, but excited that they are under contract, waiting on another one today to see if they go under contract. So anyways, with that, let me jump into sharing my screen. Oops, add to the stream. Sharing my screen so we can get to, and we're going to look over, here's the entire MLS, and this is versus Sedgwick County. So these are two different reports, but I like to go over at least the entire MLS. This does include all of the outlying areas, the smaller towns around Butler and the counties, Butler, Sumner, etc. So to begin with, that's a quick little chart. Let's just kind of go over some highlights, and I'll kind of go down to the graphs a little bit further. So here we are seeing for April that the home sales fell in April. They fell last month to 716 units compared to 983 units. Sales volume was down 172 million. I'll show you some cool graphs after this quick little recap. Median sale price was 198, up from 195 a year earlier. Homes sold in April were on the market for 6 days, so that's a little bit longer than we were seeing last year. Sold for 100% of their list price. All right, now I want to go to the graphs because those are a little easier to read. So again, this is the entire MLS. I will pull over to Sedgwick County just since it's the biggest county here, and so we can kind of do some comparisons. But here, so you're looking at home sales. Look at 2021, you got 1,000, then we're going down 983, then we're going down to 716. So yeah, low listings, low inventory. Low inventory is not helping with this. Part of the reason could be with the interest rate so low a while back that they're not wanting to sell their house at this point. And of course, that those years, they had just moved into their houses. So, and then here we're looking at, here's the active listings. Look at last year, we're at 633. So here's a good note. We are up. Look at that, 66.8%, but from 633. So that is definitely good news. Looking back to 2020 with 700, we went down a little bit last year and we're creeping back up. So that is great news. We're still seeing multiple offers. Of course, I'm talking around the 200K range, definitely below that. Even to an extent in the 200s. Once we're getting maybe to the 400s, just depending on the house, we're seeing it. But with that said, when we go down here to month supply, we do have a lot more month supply. So again, I was saying, 0.6, 0.5 a lot last year, and to see 1.3 months supply of homes is great. And so let's kind of go down here. I like to go to the median, and here we're looking at just, look at the overall sales volume in millions, 227, down a lot. So the housing market is much, much, much lower than before, although that was up from the year before that. So let's go down to the fun part here. Let's look at, this is the entire MLS, so all the counties. Sale price still keeps creeping up. I mean, huge jump from 2021, which was 180 to 195. That was huge. I was giving some big numbers last year, and now it's trickling up. So we're still seeing a trickling up, and that's really just because, the low inventory. Like I said before, November and December, my buyers were getting deals. The listings were going under asking price because of interest rates were creeping up to 7%. And they're not going down as much as we thought this year. I think we had a spike up this past week in interest rates. So, and if you ever need some lender information, give me a holler. I do have how do I put this? I do know which ones can be a little better for you in terms of monthly payments. So with that, so up, still creeping up a little, and I'm still seeing that again, especially in the 200 and below, multiple offers. People still want the fully updated ones, but even of course the other ones, just with the low inventory, are getting multiple offers. And a lot of it, what I'm talking about right now, because I was showing some sub 200s recently. One, I was actually surprised was on the market for a little bit longer, but that's because they were in a different MLS in Wichita, which is surprising. So if you're ever selling a home in Wichita, this I just came across yesterday, and you're using Salina MLS, you're not getting all the eyeballs on it because that house should have been under contract with multiple offers. But we'll see if my buyer gets it. So continuing on here, so look at days on market. That's also surprising to me, but these are statistics. These are hardcore statistics from the past, from April. So 3, it just to me seems like there's still so many buyers on the market, but I know listings are way down. So 3, and then it's staying on the market longer. 6 days on the market, where last year 3 days. And what 3 days to me typically means is we would have listed something on the market, then we kept it open a couple days so more people could see it, whether it's on Zillow or whether they have a collaboration center set up with them, with a real estate agent, so they get alerted immediately of new listings on the market. So usually, for example, like I would list a house on a Friday and have an open house on a Sunday. So with the few listings and the buyers, you would keep it open a couple days, and if you started getting offers that first day, you would still keep it open a little bit longer just so more people could see it, and it would be under contract by day 3. So even if it like you had offers right away, it'd still kind of be 3 days on the market, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're looking at six days according this stats from April. And here's just saying percentage of lists. So basically last year you can see things went a lot over list price, which is indicative of the sale price up here, 180 to 195. So last year things are going over list price, multiple offers like we've talked about. And this year it's just kind of looking at list price. So continuing on, this just kind of shows that we are down, like I was reading in the beginning. We are down with closed listings. So 983 last year in April, and we're only at 716, so at negative 27% looks like. Month supply, as I mentioned, is up, which is great. That's just showing that there's more listings on the market. And then again, we go to the median sale price. Here, I'm gonna keep that so I can. So yeah, like I was saying, 195 to 198 in days on market. And so just looking over here to the right, if there's anything of importance that I haven't mentioned. Median sales price 198, up, yeah, that's up about 3,000. So up only 1.6% to the prior year. So at least if you're selling, it looks like it's not a huge increase like it was from like it was last year from the year before. But again, if you are selling, it's still appreciating. If you're buying, and if you are having to go over asking, at least it's still trickling up a little bit. Like real estate is, though, you want to hold on to a house for many years to get the most bang for your buck out of it. And if you either turn around and sell it or rent it. Closed listings, we know they've been going down, but this is great to see. Like, look how down it was here. I mean, it's peaked up, going down, I guess, again. But so closed listings. This just gives us an overview. I always like to look at this just to see from year to year to year. And so, yeah, from 2 years ago, we're at 716. It's been going down. Again, this was the year, I believe, that where the interest rates were really good. Still were good last year. And so that's, as we're seeing the interest rates more, and I think they're 6.6, I think I saw from one lender this past week. So mid 6s, but it's going up and down between 6 to 6.1, 6. And I'm talking conventional when I'm saying this. FHA and VA are usually lower, just to keep that in the back of your mind. So again, this year, just with all these 1,000 numbers, of course, we'll see what this summer, May, June, July, we'll see what those ones. Of course, we're in June now. we'll get these numbers in about 2 weeks. Like I said, I'm a little late with getting this particular market update out. So it might be 2 weeks before I get to the next one. We'll see how my schedule is. And but yeah, so all these like these numbers, and that was when everybody was like going crazy with buying a house with the low interest rates. And then last year started to change, but it didn't change until, like I said, November, December, and that really probably didn't reflect till later anyway. It really, yeah, if you look at it, it's reflecting the buyers. My buyers got great deals in November, December, but it probably didn't reflect till here. Look at the 500s, where the listings were the ones that weren't making the money they could have made had they sold in October. So these listings in November, December of last year were begging buyers, oh, please, please, we'll give you, we'll do the repairs, we'll give you a discount, where that kind, changed, that changed again right around here. And so, but that's kind of reflecting in these numbers, that little, and then let's look over here at the graph. So blue is this year. Oh, it took a little downturn here. And then red, yeah, look how high that was that was 2021, like we were talking about. Green in the middle, and then hopefully we'll peak back up a little, but we'll keep an eye on it, and I'll keep telling you these every month. All right, let's look at the closed listings. This is always fun. I was like, there was 4 in the $1 million mark that closed, and it looks like the average was 1.5 million. Days on market 100, so of course longer on the market. And then let's look at 104 seems to be 300 to 400,000 is the bulk of the highest amount of homes where they're listed, and that definitely has increased from the last 2 years with the appreciation. I think it was more like in this range, but let's look at 12 to 14. So again, 200 to 400, with 250 to 400 kind of being the bulk of it right now. And then days on market, if you look at the median days on market in those, it's 3 and 4. I'm seeing if that's just for April. But yeah, the 3 and 4, it's median days on market. So that kind of gives you, and if you ever want this chart sent to you, just give me a holler. It's always just kind of fun to see how many homes sold per month. Per April in each price range here, and then where the bulk of the listings are. And this is the entire MLS. Let's pop over for a second before I continue on, just to kind of look at, because I'm sure you want to see Sedgwick County. So, and I'll try to remember the comparison. So here we are, 700 to 500. And these numbers, as you can see, are lower, if you remember, lower than, because it's only including Sedgwick County, not the other counties, but where the median price will be higher. So let's check that out here in a second. Active listings still going up in Sedgwick from 400 to 700-ish. I like the ballpark numbers just in case you haven't realized that. 0.6 last year, up to 1 and 1.2 months supply. That's great. New listings, these are the active listings we like to look at. So 400 to 700. Now let's go down to, this is Sedgwick County. So we were in this was 195 and this was 198. So here, interesting enough, it's gone down for Sedgwick. It's gone from 215, a median sales price, to 210. So that is different than the entire MLS was. It was 195 increased to 198. So very interesting. And then from here, Wichita goes a little faster than the outlying counties. So we're looking at 3 days to 4 days. Still, another day on the market. Buyers this just kind of tells me buyers are still maybe holding off a tad less due to the interest rates, and because if they bought during the low interest rate era, thanks to the government, they're holding on to those homes longer. So we'll see a little bit more of that until more new builds come out. And this is really interesting. And Sedgwick, look at how high this number is here for percentage. So things were going in, and I see this. If you're in Wichita and Sedgwick, going way over asking last year, where at least we're back to just 100%. So just looking like list price, that just tells me there's fewer multiple offers, or this year, last year, you would have looking at maybe 15 multiple offers. Maybe this year you're looking at a couple multiple offers. That could have a play as well. Okay, let's just, again, we're looking at Sedgwick here compared to, okay, here, I'm going to pop back over to the entire MLS. Okay, so let's look at the median price. This, we're looking at closed listings. Here we go. Yeah, so compared to the number that I just gave you for, what was that? Sedgwick County, here's where entire MLS. So this is what I was saying. This was 215 and this was 210 in Sedgwick, where we're looking at 190, 195 last year, up to 198. So that increased. Let's look at the month before. 193 to 200 really increased. I think that pop was just because November and December slowed down so much that people were, weather was back, and interest rates were looking a little bit better at that point too. And then again, another great jump up from last year in February, and a little bit of a jump up in price. So it keeps appreciating. January keeps appreciating, February by a good deal, keeps appreciating March, and a little bit in April. So our blue line is over here. So we're still, from appreciation standpoint, higher pricing. We're higher, and then a little downturn here. So it'll be interesting to see. As far as like on the streets, and of course, I only have, so many clients compared to the whole. So this is stats, of course, from the entire MLS and the agents. It still surprises me. Unless we're talking the higher dollar prices are going a little bit slower. So anyways, but that's what we're seeing for April. Let's continue on down. Days on the market, average, let's go to median. So yeah, 3 to 6 versus 3 to 4, as we saw in Sedgwick County. Things just move faster in Sedgwick compared to the outlying rural areas. Even I had a Sedgwick, Kansas listing recently, and that took a little bit longer, as was expected. So here we go. This would be active listings. So the listings are active. The price point jumped up a lot. Median list price I'm looking at down here. Active listings up here look 633 to 1056. That is great. We still have so many buyers, and then 6 months 0.6 to 1.3. List price. So the list price, it started. These are not closed. The other ones we typically look at above were closed listings. This is actually active for the entire MLS, including all the counties surrounding. So 269, and that's it. Whopping much higher at 319. So it's showing it's up 18%. So saying over here on the right side from 2020, the typical time. So days on market, 14 to 18. And that's again for active listings. I have to repeat that just even for me to remember what stat we're looking at. History of active listings, obviously, we've seen that, but it's nice to see it's starting to percolate up, especially when you look at that big dip in 2022. Active listings, I think we were just talking about that. So this is great to see that it's already starting off the year strong, but so yeah, I mean, look at even 2021. That's surprising, 2022, but that's why interest rates were still lower here, and the multiple offers went crazy, which is what caused the appreciation to go ridiculously high, and it's keeping it. Of course, now we're seeing a little bit still of appreciation, but Sedgwick County's down a little bit just for April. So we'll see what May brings. And this is a listing by price range. So these are listings. The other one I believe we're looking at was closed. Hold on a second. Oh well. Don't want to make you dizzy. Okay, so these are listings. So yeah, here, and then this showed you like we got $28 million and over listings. Average is it's in the 2 million range. Median is in the 1.5 million range. Days on market, obviously a long time. So let's go back. We're going to expect, right in here. So from listing active active listings. What is actually on the market right now, here's the bulk of it from 250 to 500, which makes complete sense since we've appreciated so much the last couple of years. I was giving lower figures before, but yeah, now we're up to just kind of think of 250 to 500. And these are all what's on the market right now. And for active listings for entire MLS, let's go down to the median price. Again, look at that. The blue is just so much higher than the other years. It keeps appreciating, going up, going up, going up. But again, just to remind buyers, if you're buying and going over asking, that's the big thing. I do tell my buyers, look, if you are going over asking, and some of them are going over a lot, depending, especially if they're in the mid 100s, or some people are buying some investment properties, or I know I had a client buy one for her daughter, stuff like that. I just say, hey, look, the whole key is just hang on to them for a while. We're still appreciating, but since you've paid over asking a good deal, you're going to want to, do the typical hang on for 10 years, the way it keeps appreciating. Because I have a feeling at some point all the builders are going to be out there with a bunch of new houses, and it's going to be steady at that point. So anyway, so let's look at median price. So yeah, 225 to 285, huge jump. 239 to 39. So now we're in the threes. Look at that. We used to be, so from a listing standpoint, yeah, the twos for the median price. Now look at that. We did not hit a 300K in the last 2 years. And now we've got 3 months for the active listings. I have to keep going back to the title just to make. We are now in the threes. So that's a huge new variable. Formerly median active listing prices, median for the entire MLS was in the twos. And as of February, March, and April, it just shows you that's our new normal, I guess. Average days on market, median, here we go, for active listings, 14, and it's going even more to 18. And if you're a seller and want to get your house sold sooner, just price it right to reduce these days on market. Sometimes people don't need to sell it quickly, or maybe want to not sell it quickly because they think they didn't price it right in that case. But if you're looking to sell it, you usually want to sell it right away, because the number of people, there's like a little bell curve. And opposite of this curve, the bell curve is like this, where it's like, everyone's seeing it right away and they're interested in buying it right away. But if it starts sitting on the market, I always kind of say it's on the clearance rack, so to speak, or if they see it come back on the market. So really, you want to price it right and be ready to sell. But I can always feel out my sellers and be like, the ones that are like, they feel like if it sells right away, oh no, I didn't price it right. It's like, of course, these last couple of years have been different. You still want to price it right, because then the multiple offers are going to come in already. But the other point I wanted to make is just make your house look as great as you can. Even if it's the cute little grandma houses that are in old condition, just price it right. Don't price it compared to an updated, remodeled house. And if you do want to get the max bang out of your buck, like with this kind of market that we have with multiple buyers and stuff like that, take the extra, put that extra money in. And not that you study the market or see those differences, but those updated houses get, oh my gosh, like 10 buyers where the other ones don't. I have an example where one of my clients just got one of the cute little grandma houses, good condition, bones are in great condition, was on the market for 6 days. I had also shown and put an offer on a comparable that sold in that area. My buyer did not get that one. There was a bunch of them. A cash offer got that one. Both houses I liked. The other one, very updated, super clean basement, empty. This one, they had all their stuff in it still. But it sat on the market for 6 days, which still surprised me, because great area, great house. But the difference is, like, the other one just went over asking with the multiple offers, and they got cash. Just based on updates. And I'm not telling everyone to go in completely rehaul your home to get that, because obviously we're not all going to do that, but just get into the best shape that you want to get it in, just again to sell it at the best price. But I do have sellers that I can tell, oh, they're okay if it sits because they think we didn't price it right if it doesn't go right away. So with that in mind, but these are other conversations we can have down the road, like, you know, when you're getting ready to list or purchase with whatever the market's doing at that time. Okay, month supply analysis. What's this? History of month supply. This is just, so I think we're pretty good here. Let's pop back over. Let's see if there's any history of new. Yeah, we already know slow listings. New listings by price range that came up in April. So 4 more came up in the $1 million. Oh, it looks like it's 2 million over here. So lots of, and if you are on my email list, you see the $1 million houses, because I always like to show what's beautiful and expensive in our little town of Wichita here. Median price, what was this? These are new listings. So the median price of new listings, $225. Contracts written. Anyway, I think that's probably enough. Here's this is just Sedgwick County again. If you want to see any extra of these stats. Closed listings in Sedgwick, 535. We already said that it was down from last year. And that's trending down. This is trending down. This is trending down. So yeah, it just keeps trending down. So let's see what May holds. Price range. This is Sedgwick County alone. So these are closed ones. So there was 3 in Sedgwick County at $1 million that sold. And the bulk of them from 10 to 15% were, actually 175 to 400. Median price for closed listings, like we've looked at already. So that this is the one that I kind of want to look at compared to the entire MLS. We're looking at that it just went down. So this went up. This went up, but that went down. That wasn't surprising just because of interest rates going up to 7 in November and December. So people kind of were like, whoa, let's stop. Let's, not put our, again, this is closed listings. If the buyers stop, let's hold off on putting our house on the market unless we have to, like unless you're moving or unless there's a really highly motivated reason. Average days on market for Sedgwick, as we were saying, this is lower than 3 to 4 versus I think it was 3. It went to 6 for the entire MLS. And again, Sedgwick, just going back to these numbers. These are okay. So now we're to active listings. So again, that's great. Jumped up. Days on the market jumped up a little bit, but 318. Look at the list price went from 318 to 340. It just keeps going up. So, all right. Well, let's call it. I think that's enough data for now. Yeah, if you want, I also, of course, have the others for Butler, Sumner, those South Central, the MLS statistics on those that are separate that I don't go over here because they're just smaller communities, but I can send that out to you. If you have any questions again, I've got lots of examples of sellers and buyers and what's going on in different price points. If you're looking out, whether it's this year or next year, it's good to start getting information now, start talking about the market now, what you can do to get the most of your most bang out of your buck. And of course, we'll see what happens, as the year progresses. Listings at least are coming back. And we're seeing some interesting, like I said, for Sedgwick County to be down a little bit from the price range. That kind of surprised me. So anyway, thanks for watching. Give me a holler. Have a great day.